Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Company 119's The Coffee Cup. My name is Ryan Gilkerson. I'm lead creative here at Company 119, and we're glad you could join us on a big day. Let me introduce you to the Company 119 fire truck. The reason that this fire truck is significant is because anytime somebody gets one of our custom sites that we build, we send them one of these Lego kits to build a fire truck just as a token of our appreciation, and make sure that they have something around their office to always remind them that Company 119 is here to run toward the fires. Well, we have decided to make an Instagram page that is going to center around the adventures of our Company 119 fire truck. So virtual assistant John, do you have that picture of our Instagram page we can show everybody? So there it is. That's what you're looking for on Instagram. We're going to get started. There's the fire truck today, hanging out with Chad Paul, one of our designers, friend of the cup, at his desk. And then there's another picture up there of the fire truck on set as well that you can check out. There it is. Lovely, lovely. So make sure you follow Company 119, and we are going to continue to watch the pursuits of the fire truck running towards the fires. Well, I decided to make today's coffee cup all about Instagram for business. There's a belief that Instagram only works for certain types of businesses, and that's true to an extent if you don't think outside the box. Now, for a long time at Company 119, we didn't have an Instagram page, mainly because we just weren't sure that it was going to be effective for branding and sending our message. We had to wait until we had a great idea, a great concept to have an Instagram page to really make it worth it. So you have to figure out creative ways to present your brand through a visual element. Instagram is 100% visual. You don't want to use a bunch of pictures that don't look good. You want to try to avoid having a bunch of just flyers and graphics and things on your Instagram. You really want to make it look visually appealing, especially on the timeline on the back. Not just the individual pictures that show up in other people's timelines, but the grid that you have on Instagram. You should make that visually appealing. So basically, when we were thinking of our concept, you wanted to think of a way to brand a specific element of your company and expand that, and yet still tie it in with the day-to-day activities that you do, the day-to-day messaging that you do. How do you work it all together? So that's why we thought the fire truck might be a great way to brand what we do here. That way it can go on site with us to all the different projects that we're working on, and it can be a really cool way to show visually what we do in a type of business that's not always visual. Now, a lot of what we do is visual. We've got graphic designers, we've got videography packages, we've got a podcast. So there's some things that are very visual, but on a day-to-day business, occasion, our work isn't necessarily visual. So that's where the fire truck gives us something to make things visual. So I wanted to, virtual assistant John, if you could bring up our article from our friends at Sendable Insights. There's an article that it's called 7 Tips for Using Instagram for Business. You can find it at sendable.com, and we thank them for putting this out so we can use it. They've got some really cool tips on here. The first tip they have is show what you do in a creative way. If we took a picture of Chad sitting at his desk, and as much as we think Chad is a handsome, charismatic fella, you probably don't need to look at a bunch of pictures of Chad sitting at his desk making graphics designs. But when you add the element of the fire truck, now it's fun. Now it fits with our branding. Now we can throw some fun hashtags in, and we've got a cool post. So if you could show what you do in a creative way that's kind of outside the box, you're really making the most out of your Instagram profile for business. Another thing you can do is try Instagram stories, and we're going to be getting on that. That's a creative way to show what you're doing. Use the stories, use videos, show people what you're doing, and give them an idea of what your business looks like on a day-to-day basis. Number 2, create a winning profile. There's some things you can do on Instagram. Instagram is a little more limited than some of the other social media platforms in terms of customization of a profile, but you can add a profile pic, make it look cool, make it a nice picture, use professional quality pictures, or if you've got, like I've got an iPhone, I take pictures in portrait mode as much as I can for the fire truck, just to make it look a little bit more crisp and make it look a little more professional. Make your pictures look really good, and also take advantage of the fact that in your bio on Instagram, you can use a link. So in our bio, we've got a link to our website so that people can easily navigate back to our actual website If they like what we're doing on the IG, maybe they want us to do that for them. They click the website. Now all of a sudden we've got a great way for them to connect with us. Take customers behind the scenes. I really like that, and that's going to be a big focus of what we do on our page. No matter what kind of product you have, no matter what kind of business you have, people are always curious about what happens when they aren't there. What happens with your business? Tell the story. We've had a lot of videographers on lately, especially, that talk about how important it is to tell the story of the business in order to get more business. Sheik Dixon joined us last week and talked a lot about how telling the story of the owners is more important than telling the story of the product. That's what we want to do on our IG page. That's what you should do on yours as well. Number 4, expand your reach with hashtags. Hashtags make it easy for people to follow things that are of interest on your page. On our website, or in our IG profile, we're going to use hashtags like digital marketing, marketing automation, graphic design, videography, podcasts. That way, if anybody is searching for any of those hashtags to see what's out there, it might direct them to our page. We might pop up, and the next thing you know, they're getting business with us. And I think that's great. The max you can add is 30 per post. I don't know that I recommend adding 30 all the time, but if you can find maybe 10 that are really good for you, 10 that really work and drive traffic, then that might be a place to start. Number 5, collaborate and at or mention others. This is a great way to get your company out there. It's a great way for people to feel connected to your company, and it's a great way to get your followers up. Anytime you have, like when we have a guest on the Coffee Cup, when I put something about them on my own personal IG, and now I'll be doing it on our Company 119 IG, I make sure to at them or mention them, and that way they'll see it. Hopefully they're going to share it. Hopefully they're going to at us back, and the next thing you know, we're using each other's fan base or using each other's demographics to continue to enhance the followers that we have. So make sure you're giving people the appropriate credit as you're tagging them on the IG. Build anticipation and offer exclusivity. I like this one too. If you've got special offers, special promo, you can make it exclusive to just your IG followers. You can build anticipation for events with a nice IG story, and then you can tell the story of the event through the IG story. So through Instagram, there's a lot of ways that you can build that anticipation to make people feel like they're personally connected to you. And as always, number 7, analyze your success and build on it. Everything we talk about here comes down to analytics. That's what we always say. It comes down to knowing what's working, what's not, tweaking what works. Follow, make sure the hashtags are bringing you traffic. Make sure that your ats and your mentions are bringing you traffic. And if your campaign isn't working the way that you want it to, change it. There's nothing that says you can't scrap your timeline and start over again with IG. And if there's just certain posts that didn't have traffic, you can always remove those. If you're advertising something for a little bit, you've got some promo pieces on there, you want to pull those out after the event, you can do that. You can always tweak your IG based on what's working and what's not. So there you go. Make sure you follow us at company_119. We're really excited about the opportunity to connect with you in yet another medium, and we appreciate you joining us. And you just learned more about success with Instagram for business before you finish your first cup of coffee than your competition will all day. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.